Good morning, knitters. Welcome. My name is Karen, and you're watching Recreational Knitting. I'm coming to you from hot, humid Ormond Beach, waiting on the next round of thunderstorms, but no hurricanes, please. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been here. I apologize. Life, life and all of it. Today, let's see, I actually am wearing a knitted object. This is the Rock It Tee by Tanis Laverlell. Apologies to the designer. I think that's her name. Anyway, I'm sure you've all seen it, heard about it. Was not my favorite knit to knit. I made it out of Ito silk and wool in lace weights. So I really love the marling that it created. However, vision not being great, there are a few places here and there that I just didn't get both of the lace weights in the stitch and had to do duplicate stitch, and it is, but unpopular opinion, I did not think that this was a well-written pattern. So I do like the fit of this pattern, so I'm going to rewrite it for myself. And thank you to Mandy of Mouse's Makes podcast, who explained to me how she did it without the little yarn overs, because that's what seemed to go way off the rails. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Did I say welcome? Welcome back, all of the things. Hoping you find this somewhat entertaining and not a total waste of time. You're here to see all the knitting, and I do have a lot. Yeah, so let's get into it. All right. When the goat screams, there's a finished object. My first finished object is a little hat made with gosh, I can't even say anything today. Malibrigo Rios. I think it's Rios. Yeah. In my new favorite color. I just love this color. I would have my house in this color if I lived alone. So, but yeah, it's just one of those simple, kitty cat hats. Can't say that other word, but yeah, I just loved it. I got this from, not from Stash, but from somebody else's stash. So it almost counts as working from Stash, right? I can rationalize anything, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, first finished object. The pattern is on Ravelry. It's a free one. I don't know which one it is. I printed out a couple, and I think it's 88 stitches, and yeah, so anyway, finished object 2. And this is a nice one because this is made with Friea yarn. And I know you've seen this. I've shown this a couple times. And that's where I was the last time I showed it. And now it's finished. Neither one of these have been blocked because we get rainstorms every we're going to need a month to get these dry. So yeah, let me take the marker off. I just love this. The yarn is not terribly soft, and that's okay. I think it'll soften up afterwards. But yeah, I like this slow changing, color changing yarn. This is really nice. So yeah, so I have let's see if I can stand up here a little bit. yeah, there's lots of ways you can wear this. This is the back Bay Boomerang. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I just love the colors. Makes me think of orchids for some reason, you know, and lilacs and hyacinths, all the flower things. So yes, 2 finished objects. And had I been motivated, I could have had 2 more, but I'll save those for another day. So yes, 2 finished objects. Yes. So I'll make tags. I think that puts me up to 18 finished objects for the year. Those of you that have been around a while know that I do a lot of t-shirts and sweaters, and so therefore things don't get finished quite as easily, but you know, it's what I enjoy. I'm kind of off the socks right now. Yeah, I have 2 pairs that are in bags. They'll be there for a while. So let's see about new cast-on. What are cast-ons? I think I've had a stroke. That's not funny, but you know, yeah. So, new cast-ons. After I finished my little green hat, hot green hat, I started my September scrappy shawl. And I apologize for not getting here September 1st to show you. This is what I'm making. We're having, you know, a very casual knit along. Just anything scrappy that's a cow. Hoping that will help maybe some Christmas knitting, holiday knitting, cold weather knitting, whatever you need it for. This is not a paid for pattern. It's the One Chevron Cow by the Mouse Army Mitten Company. Pretty easy. I cast on this week. And by this week, I mean last night. Yeah. And I got my first there we go. Provisional cast on. Is anybody like me and going, ew, with provisional cast-ons? I'm like thinking, there's gotta be a better way. Anyway, provisional cast on and just a chevron stitch. And this is how much I have left of the first color. So my next color will be this. This is some unidentified, it might be earth. This is earth yarns. I'm gonna be real honest here. Not a fan, very splitty, not twisted nicely in my estimation. They could do a better job. I like the fact that they plant a tree for every skein you get, but I gotta like the yarn. So this is probably the last of the earth that I will ever get, unless things change and they go to a somewhat better twist. And then this is the next one. And let me show you the rest of the yarn that I have. Like my little muffin tin for my cow. My husband has been on a diet. He's going to his high school reunion. And he's like on this diet, you know, got to get rid of the pounds, all the pounds in 3 weeks, you know. So, and he was like 175 in high school or something like that. He's not that now. So, no, he's not going to fool anybody. But he was so hungry last night when I got this out. He goes, "Did you buy muffins?" No. But he didn't say anything about the yarn inside. So, I have a variety. This is some kind of sock yarn. I think it's West Yorkshire Spinners. Let's see if we can get some of these together. And then I have two more kind of wine color rosé. Yeah, so I think it'll be kind of nice. And I think I have enough to make 2 cows, which will be nice. I can give one to each child, I think. So yes, this is living in a muffin tin. A muffin tin. But it fits, it works. And I can see what I've got going in there really easily. I never saw this anywhere. I just thought, you know, those little muffin tins you buy at Costco, well, the big muffin tins, the muffin packages that you buy, I can put balls of yarn in there, you know, after I've gotten them down to a certain size. So yeah, just an idea. I mean, if you've got a place to stack, not a bad idea. Yeah, so that's that. That's one of my Nina cast-ons. The second is the Cancun lace top. And this is by Erin Kate Archer. This is a freebie on Ravelry. I will be wearing this over a linen dress that we're going on a cruise. I don't know whether I told you that the last time. Yeah, my husband has never been on a cruise. I've been on a baby cruise with daughter, and we're just kind of seeing if that's a good way for us to travel. So we're taking this little baby cruise to Bahamas, and, you know, 3 nights, 4 nights, whatever. And yeah, so we're gonna do that. And of course, for dinner, you have to not wear your swimsuit to dinner. Okay, so this is my idea. I'm gonna make 2 of these before the cruise. And this is what the front or the back, depending on which way you want to go with this. Let's see, this is the front. All right, so I've made it a little bit longer, and once blocked, this is going to come down a little bit further. And there's something that's pulled already. Great, yeah, I can see that happening over and over again. But yeah, this will go over it's just 2 rectangles, and you seam at the shoulders and of course the sides. So I made mine a little longer. The pattern calls for making 4 rows of knit in between each of the lace areas. I put 6 rows. So each is going to be a little longer. And then I put 2 more sections of lace in it. This is a real crop top. And certainly, you know, those of you that can wear those, it's just really cute. Helen, who is the owner of She Sells Yarn and More in Ormond Beach Yarn Shop, has made a few of these and has hung them up in the shop and got me interested in it. And this is how much I've gotten on the second one. I just cast this whole project on last Tuesday. Oh, I just dropped a stitch here at the end. Anyway, so yeah. So I'll have that done very quickly. This is going to be kind of one of my go-to priority things. I used 2 balls of 50-gram Lion brand cotton, bamboo, and linen that I had in my stash. Yay, stash busting. Whips be gone, stash be gone, right? Anyway, I've used 3 of these, 2 of these for the front, and I'll be using 2 more for the back. And this is how much I've, used of the third one. So for 4 balls of 50 grams of this, I can have a little linen-y top to wear over a linen dress. So yeah, there's that. So I was excited. It wasn't something I planned on. Most of my knitting isn't, if truth be told. So yeah, that is living right now in a Fat Squirrel fiber bag. This is one of her sweater sizes, I believe. So yeah, and then when I go to the knitting shop, I'll just grab this and put another project in there. So yeah, those are my 2 new cast-ons. Now, all those works in progress that still haven't been finished. I'm a failure, I really am. I don't think I'll ever succeed at this, finishing up all my whips. And as I say that really sounds very negative, but I've always been a pragmatist, and I have more yarn than I can possibly use in a lifetime, the rest of my lifetime. And yeah, it's just not going to happen. Still working at it, but not making good progress. It's life. As Ruth on Ruth Loves to Knit podcast says, it's my knitting and I'll do what I want. And I'm with her. So, again, this wasn't one of the whips that I started at the beginning of the year with, but this is the Berkeley Shawl by Ba Yarns. This was given to me by the shop owner, Helen, at She Sells Yarn and More, Norman Beach. When you buy a skein of the Ba Yarns, which I did. And this is where I think I was the last time, right here. And this has been some knitting that I've done in the shop, waiting for hospital tests to be run, waiting at the dentist, that kind of stuff. Because it's pretty mindless. Although I have to say that I do have to mark how many rows, because I've noticed that you're supposed to do 8 rows or 7 rows, and the 8th one is the eyelet hole row. But there have been a few that I did not do that on. So I really need to stop and just do what I need to do. When you pick up a pattern like this and you're only knitting like maybe a row or 2, you really do need to keep track of it. So, but yeah, this is La Jolla yarn, and it's 100% superwash merino, 115 grams, and this is in the colorway Baby Steps. Is that right? Upside down. Baby Steps. And I really liked it because it's a neutral. The lighting is so wonderful here. It's gray outside with an occasional pop of sun. So I don't know whether you can see those pops of blue, green, occasionally an orange gets in there. And you really can't see it, but it reads gray. But then when you get closer, you can see some of the pops, little baby pops, baby steps. So yeah, that's some progress. Let me change my little, what is that, bumblebee marker here, and stick that up where I showed you. And hopefully next week you'll see quite a change. Although the rows are getting longer. You know how that goes. But yeah, this is a really easy pattern. I'm sure there's something like it on Ravelry. I know that if you contacted me about that, and I said that, I don't know where to get it except, you know, at your local yarn store, if they carry this at all. So, or to contact Ba Yarns. So, anyway, yeah, this will be going on the cruise too as a shawl for my black linen dress that I plan on wearing probably 3 nights out of 4. So, all right, what's the next whip that I've got here? All right, we're down to sweaters. All right, this is my progress on the tank car tank car tee, excuse me. Still haven't done anything with the shoulders yet, but where the marker is how much I've knit. So I'm getting close to where I need to do the ribbing, and from there, the seaming of the shoulders, and then I'll have a finished object. So, still haven't finished my I-cord on the other one. So, I'll probably have an I-cord day. It is what it is. Not a fan of I-cord. Applied I-cord. I mean, I like the way it looks. Not fun to put on. Oh, here's a non-sweater work in progress. This is the Italian, let's make sure right, an Italian summer scarf. Another, you know, eyelet, yarn overs, knit 2 together kind of pattern. And I've made a little bit of progress on this since last time. It actually got buried in my car for a bit, but I did make a little bit of progress on that. This is a very light sagey green, even though it's not coming up that way on camera. This is a Wonderland. Let's see. Yeah, it's not coming up as like a light green, but it is beautiful. It really is lovely. Maybe it's starting to look a little green there. Anyway, this is a Wonderland wool, as I said, silk, excuse me, it's summer silk. And it's in the colorway Hawthorn Tree, which is number 331. And again, just a real simple knit. I did a little bit in the car, and I think that's probably it this time. As I said, it got buried. So, keeping that in a little Barrett wool bag that I got with something years ago. But yes, so that's all the shawls. That's all of that. Okay, so I have 3 more sweater whips. Let me get up here and get them. Excuse me, forgot to put the pattern back. I'm hoping you've found some good time to knit. Let me just get them all while I'm here. That wasn't probably the best of ideas. Anyway, this is the Bustleton. And let's see, I was here the last time I showed you. So I've made pretty good progress on this. What I've been doing with these tees is picking one a night while watching TV. So I've really made some good progress. This is made with Neighborhood Fiber. It's in the Key Bridge colorway. Let me take it off the hanger so maybe you can see it a little bit better. See the little holes, the top? Yeah, just enough. I'm pretty pleased with how it's turning out. I tried it on and I think it's going to look very, very nice. Good fit. This will probably be a repeat. I will probably do this one again. Let me get you a picture of the pattern so you can, if I can find it, that is. Oh, I think it's in here. Yes, it is. It's in the bag, of course, where I keep it, usually. Just a simple tee by Erica Flory, a freebie. Obviously, I'm not doing this in the stripes. However, I'm using Neighborhood Fiber Co. in the Studio Sock in the Key Bridge colorway. Those of you that know that I'm from Baltimore, and you remember back, I think March, a barge hit the Key Bridge and it basically collapsed. And there were 6 workers on the bridge that night who perished. And Neighborhood Fiber Co. did a fundraiser, and this is the colorway that she came up with. So yeah, this is, I had 3 of these and doing a lot of helical knitting just in case, even though they look pretty good. So that's how much I have left out of 3. So yeah, I really like it. I like the yarn. I think I said when I first podcast about this that it was not as nice as some yarns, but when you have it knit up into the fabric, it's heaven. So I guess it's just in the ball that it's not as, I wouldn't say it's rough, but it's not as soft as a lot of merinos. Again, don't know whether that's dyeing process, don't know whether that's the organic part of it, don't know. All I know is the fabric is very, very nice. Highly recommend that. And that is in my new bag that I bought from my local yarn store, which I had to have, even though I did not need this. But since we lived in a RV for how many years? Only 4. Yeah, I thought it was appropriate. Yep. For those of you who are new, let me just back up here a bit. We traveled the continental United States, 48 states, for 4 years, starting December 2019. And of course, in 2020, COVID hit, blah, 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 blah. All the things changed. And we ended up being out there for 4 years. And we bought this house back in October, I believe. Yeah, October. And we love it here. So go back and check some of my older videos of places that we've been and things we've seen and some of the beautiful pictures at the end of videos. It was a trip of a lifetime. Glad it's over. But yeah, my new bag. All right, next one. Those of you who have been here a while know my love for petite knit anchor summer shirt. And of course, I've got one on the needles. I have to say, I haven't done a whole lot on this week, but I've done enough for this 2 weeks. That's where I was the last time. And I'm doing a fade. This fade is made with my local yarn store, has a line of their own. Sandy skeins is what they are using to call these. And this is the fade. I started with the dark because I liked it better up at my face rather than the light. So I started with the dark. I'm now in the middle and I have not used any of the light. But this is very luscious yarn. If you're ever in the Ormond Beach area, highly suggest this yarn. It's so squishy. But yeah, so here we are at the fade, and I'm now fully into the second skein. Another petite knit summer, anchor summer shirt. Do you think that will be the, no, it'll be something with my mouth open like it was last time. Yes. So maybe if I do this for long enough, it'll get the thumbnail. So those of you with podcasts feel my pain, right? They've changed things and made them far worse, but you didn't hear it from me. And so yeah, let's hope I get a decent thumbnail. We'll see. All right, let me hang that back up. And my last sweater that I've really worked on this week, I won't bother to show you another one that I probably put 2 rows on, is wrapped up in everything else. Yeah, there it is. It's all wrapped up. Oh, let's see. Let's get this bag. There we go. I've released it. All right. This is, oh dear. It's another pattern that I cannot remember the name of ever. And I've said it about 6 million times, and every time I have to look again. All right, it is the Breezeway by Fog Bound Knits. Another just pretty plain tee, but I'm a plain girl, and that's what I like. And I'm looking for just a pattern that, you know, I can kind of memorize in my head and just pick up some yarn and do it. I've made some progress on this. Let me turn this around so I can show you. Not as much as I would like, but there is where, so I've made what, 2 inches of progress. This is made with Trinity yarns in the colorway Unicorn Farts. That even looks like it's finished on camera. It's not. But yeah, I have about, 3 inches to go, and then ribbing. And then, of course, the sleeves, which I may always make a little bit longer. But the helical knitting of this is slowing me down because I have 3 skeins of yarn that are really very different. One is more of a white base, one is more of a darker pink base, and one is kind of a medium pink base. So I really have to, all 3 of those have to go into this so it doesn't look like, otherwise you could see obvious lines, really obvious. And I don't know where the third one is. It's probably on the floor, but here are 2 of them. And it may not look that distinct on camera, but it really is. There are 3 of these. I don't know where the third one is. I don't see it anywhere. Oh, it is on the floor. This is the one that is more white. So yeah, those of you that don't know anything about helical knitting, you basically use 2 concurrent skeins, balls of yarn, and try to, every row, work, how do I want to say this, work the stitches a little bit forward and of a different color. So you've got, you know, like let's say A, B, but it comes over this way, and then A, B. So it doesn't look linear. So, and it works 95% of the time, unless you've got like really distinct dye lots. Let's see here. What the yarn does. So yeah, I've made some good progress on 4 sweaters, and some good progress on some other smaller things that I might have a chance of finishing soon. So yeah, I'd really like to get at least 2 of those done. This is the other one that I'm making with Emma's yarn. I really have not done a whole lot of this, but this is one of the ones that I want to get to the sleeves so that I can just pick it up and take it to the knitting shop. So yeah, so love this. This is, oops, I did it again. So that's her colorway in Emma's Yarn, who is a local dyer here in Florida, has a couple of stores in Florida, and has been very successful as a dyer. So go, yay them. Yeah, it's a family. Mom owns the, not sure how it's all divvied up, but mom owns the yarn shop, and the kids do dyeing, but that's probably not right. So I'm probably lying again. So yes, speaking of Florida yarns, yesterday, and I'll be inserting some of that yarn store footage at the end of this video, so feel free to stay tuned for fun at a yarn store, especially those of you that haven't been to a yarn store recently. It's just fun. My yarn store yesterday had its 6th birthday, and we had a party. Helen put out a whole bunch of food, and people were there. Olive and Two Ewe did a trunk show. They're a local dyer to us as well, and consider, I think, that Helen's shop is kind of their home shop, and they're very successful too. They have a podcast, and you've probably heard about their yarn, and they dyed up a colorway for Helen. Would that not look wonderful together? Yeah. So yeah, it's got a little bit of coral in it, light pink to white. Can't wait to use it. But she dyed this. This is the colorway for the 6th anniversary, and it's called Bon Anniversaire. I slaughtered that, I'm sure. And this is in her, in their Beast, which is 600 yards. So not that I have enough to make a sweater, but if I put this with some white, I might be able to make another bustleton. What do you think? Yeah, they'll see me coming. Yeah, so I really like this. And in there, she gave me a little bit of swag. There's a coaster. I have I have 2 coasters by my bedside from Barrett wool that are probably 5 years old or more. No, about 5. No, more. And they're getting really ratty, so it's time. This says yarn therapy, and certainly I got my share yesterday of yarn therapy. I'll be showing you a couple more. But this is the one from the trunk show, Olive and Two Ewe. This is not a colorway that's going to be available, I don't think. because it's special for the shop. But as you may or may not know, Olive and Two Ewe are very successful hand dyers and have beautiful yarns. And probably one of the more popular yarns is Stinky Pinky. I think that's what it's called. Stinky Pink or Stinky Pinky, I think. And it's similar, a little darker than this, but in that same vein of, you know, a little copper with darker pink. So not as, ooh, in your face pink. So I love it. Ooh, that's a good shot. Yeah, so check out them. They have a website, olive2u.com, and U is spelled like the female sheep. So check them out. Florida Dyers. Support your local businesses. So that was my very first purchase yesterday. Then remember the Italian summer shawl scarf that I'm making? Well, I got some more of that same yarn. And this is more in a gray blue tone. And I probably will be making a shawl, a lace shawl with this. This is in their summer silk. And this is called Inkwell. I think might be a tribute to Martha's Vineyard. Not sure. But certainly very pretty. Lighting is terrible. You know how it goes. But it's a gray blue, more gray than blue, but it's really lovely. So I bought 2 of those. Yeah. I needed it. Two distinct hobbies, collecting it and knitting it, right? So it's okay. And while I was there at the yarn store, I bought me some Wonderland in the colorway Jazz and Juleps. This was their local yarn store colorway for 2024, and I've been looking at this, so I bought some, and it comes with little stitch markers, which never really turns me on, I have to be honest, but it's nice and I can rationalize anything. So yeah, I was very happy with this purchase. Do I know what I'm doing with it? Nah. This is a sport weight, my favorite weight of anything. Likely this will go into a sweater. But who knows? If you have suggestions for almost 700 yards, let me know. And the other thing is, I think she still had 3 on the table, so I might get the other 3 and just say sweater, because it's nice and squishy. This is 100% superwash merino, so it could be anything. It could be sitting on a shelf for a year or 2, just saying. So that was my goodies that I bought yesterday at the birthday party. And I just want to thank Helen, Jean Marie, and Michelle, who works there occasionally, to thank them for all the hard work that they did yesterday, putting that little party together. It was great. There were a lot of people there. At one point, I think there were about 60 people in the actual store, which was probably not up to fire code. No, it wasn't that. It was close at one point. It was pretty loud. You know, women in yarn. So yeah, that's my new purchase. Now, didn't stop there. I have a couple other purchases that I have to tell you about. I'm working from stash. It's somebody else's, but I'm working from stash. I bought this off eBay. This person had a ton of beautiful yarn that she was destashing. And I've had my eye on this colorway for a while. This is a Zour ball. This is the merino. And this is called Friea, color 1564. I don't speak German. Don't be upset with me. But this is what the colorway is. So it's kind of a rainbow, but subdued. And I've wanted to make a shawl with this and probably some kind of like a navy blue to tone it down. That's what I bought this for. I've had my eye on this for probably 2 or 3 years, wanting to purchase one this color, and it was amazing cheap, and I felt kind of bad only giving her what she asked for it. But yeah, it was to pay off some vet bills, I think. So yeah, I got that. So yeah, let's get to those whips before I start getting into this. All right, and to continue the yarn, I went and got some Temu yarn. My neighbor was putting in an order, and she says, I'm getting a Temu order together. Is there anything you want? I said, you know, I want to try this. It's, they don't put any content on the actual ball bands, but in the description it said 75-25 merino and nylon. And I was thinking this would be a beautiful shawl or scarf or hat and scarf or fingerless gloves or any of the above. They're 50-gram balls. I haven't really measured. I haven't weighed them. I'm assuming. So I have 150 grams here. So I could get a nice shawl out of that or something. But it really is nice. I bought some Temu mohair. What I bought. I don't know if that's what they're all like. But yeah. But this is lovely. So yeah, this is really lovely. And I was thinking, you know, something really pretty mindless as a shawl, but I thought it was really pretty. Has some really pretty colors in it. Yeah, don't lecture me about Temu. I know all about it, but you know, my neighbor put the order in, and I said, let me try this while you're ordering. So there it is. You know, fall is a thing, and I really miss the crisp first days of fall. And so this is to substitute for fall weather. That's my story, sticking to it. And the last purchase that I have to show you is something I really did not need at all, and I really wanted it. It's a project bag. Is that not fun? Or what? It's called the Monster Mash. And those of you who watch Fat Squirrel Speaks, this is her Recreation. She makes really nice bags. Some people think they're pricey. It stands up on its own. Let me see if I can show you that. There it is, standing up on its own. And it's large. She puts a little lavender sachet, if you want it, in each bag. But do you remember all these things? Monster Mash? But look at them. I'm not really a big Halloween person, but I dig this. Yeah. So I might put my Timu yarn in there. Make a fall thing. Oh, that lavender smells so good. So yes, Fat Squirrel Fibers. If you don't know her, you should. She's got a wicked sense of humor. She does a lot of quilting. She does a lot of knitting. She crochets. She cross stitches. I don't know if there's anything else. She probably does. She does a lot of books, and she talks about TV once in a while, but yeah, it's a good one. So, my floor is a mess. You ever want to see? Yeah, that's what it looks like after you do a podcast. Anyway, I think that's all I have today. Stay tuned for some footage from my local yarn store. And thank you to everybody who was at the yarn store yesterday and participated in Helen's birthday. She's a great lady, and anything you can do to support her is very much appreciated. I've been yakking for a long time. I'm hoping that you're all good. But before I leave, I just want you to realize, because I haven't even mentioned it, we're still doing the Whip Be Gone 2024, Stash Be Gone 2024. We're doing the Scrappy Cow, Scrappy September. And if it ever gets a little bit cool here, I'll start working on my Wisdom of the Moon shawl again. So many whips, so few fingers. Ah, yes. On that note, I hope you have a wonderful week. Let's hope that I get back here next week. Knit in peace.
I'm gonna do too. Well, no, I've got it.
You got to put on the spot.
I said, I think what it is, I work.